thank you.
Did you get time to rest?
Yes, I did. In fact, I arrived very late on Friday night, but I've been here since then, and so I've had some time to do work on the show, other work as well, walk my dog, so I've had a good time, had a massage, so I'm chilled for the show tomorrow.
Did you get time to walk around to see something?
Not so much, that the hotel's already quite big, so just going the other side on the terrace was a good moment for me to catch some sun, because I've just come from the mountains, so it's nice to already feel like it's summer somewhere in the world.
I know you're vegan, but did you have time to try all Macedonian food?
I have been told of some stuffed peppers, which I haven't had a chance to try yet, so I'm definitely going to ask for them. But I've been told it's got garlic in it, so maybe after the show I'll celebrate. But I've had some local white wine from Macedonia, and it was very, very nice last night. So I'm lucky so far.
I'm glad. Since you were a child, you were meant to be a miracle. Do you still feel like a miracle?
No, I think just being alive is a miracle. I think we've all kind of succeeded in different things in different ways, at different levels, at different speeds, and we've all got something to offer, and some of us are lucky enough to be discovered young, to share our gift or share our, language, so to speak. And I think that the miracle is that there are people out there discovering a stranger from another part of the world's music, and I think that's a miracle, that people around the world are so open to this kind of music, because my kind of music is not like down the line. It's kind of so eclectic. It comes from a classical past, but it's opened the doors to kind of pop and rock and jazz and dance. And when people come and hear an album or visit a show, the door is really open to an adventure of 90 minutes with the violin. And I have a great band on stage with me who are willing to go on this adventure. We're really weaving in and out of so many different styles. So I think the miracle is the ability for people to be so open with their hearts, their minds and their ears, and that we are able to communicate across borders and countries around the world.
You already mentioned your music, but when you're home alone, do you prefer to listen to classic or pop?
It depends on the mood, but I would say I definitely listen to more pop. I mean, it's more like 90% pop, and maybe 10% classical. When I was a kid, it was probably more 70% classical and 30% pop, but I was never forced to listen to one kind of music over another. And I think it's just, the culture of just the radio and what you hear. There's much more exposure for pop music, and the classical music, I go back to be inspired, to find peace, to feel kind of, if I can say, clean, if you know what I mean. And I'd like to be buried, for example, with classical music, but I want to live with pop. Does that make sense? So they're both important, and they're both a part of your life. One is guaranteed that you're going to die, so I want to die with classical, but I'm happy to live with pop.
These days, do you have any favorite song? For example, like Sharon, Rihanna, something else?
Yeah, no, I love Rihanna. Probably the stuff that I'm still listening to is a little bit old. It's like maybe 3 albums ago, because it takes me time to warm up to things. But I like that. I like loads of different stuff that I play. I mean, I really didn't get U2 a few years ago, but I'm like into them now. Still old albums, so it takes me time to warm up to people. But Rihanna, yeah, because I speak quite a lot, so I put her on in the morning and full volume, and then I'm in the mood to do some sports, So that's like the sort of fabric of your life. It's a soundtrack to your life. Music, for me, I just discovered this a bit like after everybody else, despite being a musician, that there's the one thing that can really get me into the right mood fast is music. If I'm a little bit tired or down, you put music on and you don't overthink, but it's just an immediate reaction. It just goes into your cells, and there's an explosion of just positive feeling, obviously with the right song. So it just struck me that that's actually the best therapy there is.
Is there any favorite song right now on your player that you're
Oh
listening
my
all the time?
God. What am I listening to all the time that's driving everybody mad? Well, at the moment I'm listening to my own songs to get ready for the show. But apart from that, what have I been listening to? Ask me that question at the end and I'll think about it, because I just can't think right now. Because I have to admit that I listen to a lot of live stuff on YouTube, and so I actually love the whole sharing, because sometimes when I'm not how do you say, able to remember what I did live, I go on YouTube and like some person has obviously unauthorized posted a song of mine, and I'm like, that's what I did, that's the arrangement I did, because I never write everything down, anything down. And there's a song that I've been playing, L'Amour by Serge Gainsbourg, and I forgot what arrangement I did a couple of years ago, and I was like, I'll check on YouTube. Did they post it? Yeah, some fan posted it like that, and it's actually really useful.
Is that music?
Yeah.
Like every other woman, you like shopping? You go shopping?
No, I hate shopping, especially clothes shopping. I find it like the most boring thing. My partner, my boyfriend, he's much more into clothes shopping than I am. I just like always wear the same things. My band, they like to change more than I do. I do like lifestyle home shopping, so like interior decoration. I'm really into that kind of stuff. But clothes, I could wear like the same jeans until they're threadbare. But the sofa is much more important for me.
You have days off. What do you do when you're
Yeah,
off?
I have loads of days off. I worked so hard as a teenager that when I was in my 20s, I'm not in my 20s anymore, and when I hit my 30s, I just really like chilled down. And so the whole winter, basically, I was skiing because I live in the mountains. And I obviously did a few shows, and now it's May, so the snow's melted, and I'm happy to be back on stage, meet up with my band. We have a local orchestra, a local choir, and it's great to travel to new places. I mean, I'm excited to be in a new place because the other places I'm traveling to in May, it's always great to meet a live audience, but even more exciting when it's first time with a live audience. The days off at the moment, I'm basically skiing. So in June, I'm going back to the glacier to ski, and then in the summer, probably going to South America. So I have a lot of downtime, which hopefully brings me more inspiration for my up time when I'm doing my day job, which isn't really a job because music's a pleasure. But my job is music.
That was my next question. Is you skiing?
Yes, I am skiing. I didn't ski at all last year, hardly, because I tore my MCL. And I had other stuff to do in London, but I started again this January and really enjoying it. And I'm double the age of everybody else, but everybody's really cool. All the teenagers are really warm and welcoming, and it's just great to see a different kind of avenue of life. Obviously I'm a total amateur, and I will always be super slow compared to the super strong teenagers, but it's nice. It's like when people come to me and say, is it too late to start the guitar? And I'm like, well, it depends what level. If you want to be a professional, probably it's a bit too late, in your 20s, but if you want to just love it and it gives you pleasure, maybe entertain a few people along the way, why not? I think that it's important to not just choose one thing. There's one thing you have to be serious about, but part of life is to try things, fail, have fun, try again,
You said you want to see and meet new people in places. Before you came here, did you read something about Macedonia?
Only that, I guess everybody says the same thing, that they know that Alexander the Great stems from here. What I'm especially excited about is one of the songs that maybe you're going to play is actually was written for the film Alexander the Great. I worked with Vanessa on it, and he's a film composer, and it's one of the songs that translates best, I think, from the album to live, because we kind of just changed it up. It's a lot more chill, it's a lot more organic than the album version, and it's something that we play in mostly every show, actually, because I know the audience love it, the band love it, and I love it, and it's called Roxanne's Veil from the film Alexander the Great. So that's all I know, and then I was told about the food, which I haven't tried yet. Somebody told me that the nature is wonderful, and I love nature and I love animals, so next time when I have a bit more time to travel outside of Skopje, then I will definitely want to come back again.
And last question, what are your expectations from the concert tomorrow?
I don't know. When I go to different shows and different places, the demographic tends to be very wide, but at the same time, in certain places it's slightly older or slightly younger. I've been told it's a slightly more mature crowd here, but we'll see. Even if you're of a certain age, you can still act immature. So I think that we just want everybody to have a good time. I will play my songs, and maybe according to the audience, maybe take a few in, take a few out, and then take it from there. But I was told by my keyboardist, who's been here before, because he's actually a great soloist himself. He does a lot of jazz stuff, apart from my stuff and other people's stuff. And he told me that Macedonians love music. And I said, well, that's a really strange thing to say. He said to me a few days ago, I said, because everybody loves music. He said, no, but in Macedonia they really love music. So that's a really good start to the show. So I'm going to have that inspiration when I get on stage. That you love music, so we're on to a good start.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.